Health Focus is brought to you by National Medical Stores, NMS, passionate about your life. Consuming a healthy diet throughout one's life helps prevent malnutrition in all its forms, as well as a range of non-communicable diseases and conditions. But the increased production of processed food, rapid urbanization, and changing lifestyles have led to a shift in dietary patterns. People are now consuming more foods high in energy, fats, free sugars or salt, and many do not eat enough fruit, vegetables, and dietary fiber, such as whole grains. There are also growing concerns that some of these common foods have been modified genetically to enhance their resistance while in the gardens and also to increase yield. Here in Uganda, wheat is now an integral ingredient in many people's daily meals. But did you know that consumption of large amounts of wheat could be detrimental to your health? Dr. Paul Kasenene, a qualified medical doctor with specialties in nutritional, functional and lifestyle medicine, explains why this is detrimental.
When it comes to wheat, is that wheat is being processed and refined through milling. And so we are removing the nutritious germ and the high fiber bran, and what we are remaining with is actually a high energy, low nutrient product that we are then consuming.
This manufactured wheat is common in fast and easy to cook foods including cereals, spaghetti, flour, bread and many others. Dr. Kasenene says this exposes us to large amounts of calories.
But because it's refined, it's not providing us with the nutrients that we would like to get.
He says that the artificial additions like gluten in wheat are not healthy to the body if consumed in large amounts.
We are seeing that digestive issues like inflammatory bowels, like sensitivity, like bloating, are linked to the amount of gluten and the wheat that we eat. We also have things like fatigue. So the fact that we've refined the wheat grain and that the wheat grain now has a lot of gluten in it means that the food that we are eating from wheat can actually be quite harmful to the body. And so it's important that we learn to figure out how we can actually either get much healthier wheat into our body or to look for alternative grains.
There are recommended amounts of food nutrients which we should consume daily. Our intake for energy-giving foods should be in balance with energy expenditure. Total fat intake should not exceed 30% of our daily meals to avoid unhealthy weight gain. The same applies for wheat.
Grains should usually make up about 20 to 25% of the intake of the food that we consume on a daily basis.
Apart from direct consumption of wheat, we also use it as a byproduct ingredient to make many other foods like chapati. Dr. Kasenene says these kinds of combinations with refined oils and salt should not be our regular meals.
Most of the oil that we use to cook food is actually potentially inflammatory and also unstable. Most of us believe that vegetable oils are good for us, but there's two types of oils. There is saturated and unsaturated. Now, many of the oils like sunflower oil, like corn oil, like palm oil that they actually do use to make chapati are actually inflammatory. And so once you use such oil, on top of them being inflammatory, they actually also increase your fatty deposits. They could be a risk factor for heart disease. Every time you see oil smoking, it means it has passed its smoking point, and then it has lost its actually benefit.
And what alternatives do we have to sub the modified wheat products?
I would like to encourage people to go back to our traditional grains. Okay, and it's mainly the millet and the sorghum. Then for the rest of the day, I mean, if you're if you're thinking about chapati and cakes and pasta and mandazi, again, we can think of things like more fruit. We can think of nuts and we can think of seeds, and we also have natural foods like gonja. We have things like cassava.
Global Health Monitoring Body, World Health Organization, has a number of recommendations which people can follow to improve their diet. This is an intervention to control the intake of harmful ingredients in food that are considered a risk in causing non-communicable diseases. Walter Mwesije, NTV.
National Medical Stores, NMS, passionate about your life, with support from the Ministry of Health. Procure, store and distribute essential medicine and medical supplies to all government health facilities.